situation. Antonio Brown boiled over, very upset on the sideline.
I know Coach Arians had told you when you came to this team, you screw up one time and you're done.
Evans, O.J. Howard trying to convince him to keep them on. Obviously, they were unable to do so. He tossed his shoulder pad.
How disappointed are you? Bruce Arians said he's no longer a Buc.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously a difficult situation. And, I think we all want, him to just think everybody should find, hopefully do what they can to help him in ways that he really needs it. And, we all love him. We care about him deeply. We want to see him be at his best. And, unfortunately, it won't be with our team. But, we have a lot of friendships that will last. And, again, I think the most important thing about football are the relationships with your friends and your teammates, and they go beyond the field. And, I think everyone should be very compassionate and empathetic toward, some very difficult things that are happening.
Some people would deem what happened as a screw up, but Coach Arians stood by your side and he brought you back.
Stripped off his shirt and glove, threw those into the crowd, then ran across the field while the teams were still on the field.
Just what did it mean for you after being here for a year to have a coach?
Next question.
Giving the crowd a peace out sign. I'll let you know when we hear something official on his status.
Standing in your corner.
Next question. We just want to talk about this game. We don't want to waste no time with you guys writing in bogus.
Respectfully, yeah. Antonio, we haven't talked to you yet. We haven't talked to you.
I don't want to talk about that. You guys is all drama. It's all about football. We don't talk about Carolina. I don't want to talk to you guys.
We'll go to Greg Allman.
Antonio, I'm sorry to keep going on this, but was there a point where you weren't sure if you'd be back with his team? Did you always think you'd be able to come back like you did today?
I'm just here to do my job, man. I can't control what people write, how people try to frame me or people try to bring me down. And life is about obstacles and persevering and doing what's right so you can get the right outcome. So I'm staying here before you guys, grateful, humbled, thankful, and excited to be a part of a big win with my teammates. It's not about what I did. It's about what all the guys in there did. Collectively together, and that's it.
Okay, I'm back to making Antonio Brown videos. I was waiting to get as much information on this absolutely bizarre situation before I could break it down for you guys, because I, like you, while it was going down, was watching my TV and saying, yo, what the hell's going on? I'm not surprised, but because it's Antonio Brown, but what's the backstory to the situation? And we have all of it for you here. Before we get to the content, make sure you subscribe and turn on our notifications for a chance to win $500, baby. In addition to that, we're giving away $500 to a follower that follows us on Instagram. Now that we got all that out of the way, break!
Didn't get much of a chance to dive into this yesterday, but you did bring back Antonio Brown after saying that he screws up one time and he's done. So what made you decide to give him another chance?
Well, the history has changed since that statement. A lot of things went on last year that I was very proud of him, and I made a decision that this was best for our football team.
What was the decision-making process for you like, knowing that some people might go back to those comments you made publicly about Brown and say, wait a minute, hasn't this guy had enough chances?
I could give a shit what they think. The only thing I care about is this football team and what's best for us.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? To say that Tom Brady has never dealt with this before is an absolute lie. He's dealt with something very similar to this with Randy Moss in the past, towards the tail end of Randy Moss's career, which resulted in Randy Moss getting traded to the Minnesota Vikings, and then he got cut, then signed with the Titans, and then eventually signed with the 49ers, and then his career ended. And this seems like a very similar situation, although it's with Antonio Brown, which I believe is a little bit more erratic than Randy Moss. But to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers came into this situation in some trouble, not in a tremendous amount of trouble, but to give you an idea, Chris Godwin tore his ACL, is out out for the remainder of the season, won't be available to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs. That leaves Antonio Brown and Mike Evans, who just came back from an injury that usually composes Tom Brady's stable of all-pro wide receivers. Now, Antonio Brown recently just came back after dealing with a broken foot, and then, of course, the suspension he served for faking his vaccination card. Bear in mind that Antonio Brown was already on a very short leash to begin with. Bruce Arians did not want to sign Antonio Brown, going all the way back to the beginning. The reason why Antonio Brown ended up getting signed was because Tom Brady advocated for him, and the Buccaneers have been running on, hey, we're going to give whatever Tom Brady wants to him because he's easily the best quarterback that we've ever had in our franchise's history, and he's already won us a Super Bowl. I always say this whenever I bring up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers culture. They literally told Bruce Arians, we're not running your offense and we're running Tom Brady's offense, and gave Tom Brady the keys to roster construction, the offensive playbook, pretty much for the most part everything. And as a result, the culture in Tampa Bay completely changed. Now, coming into this, Antonio Brown was on an extremely short leash. There was already rumors that he might be released following the COVID vaccine card scandal. We made a video on this previously. Bruce Arians was very vague in regards to Antonio Brown's future with the franchise, and he didn't make it seem like he was for sure going to return. But ultimately he did. He had a tremendous game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Carolina Panthers, where he was targeted 15 times for 10 receptions and over 100 receiving yards. And now that there's 2 weeks left in football and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are contenders, Antonio Brown is going to be counted upon significantly, and he was properly incentivized as well. To give you an idea, Antonio Brown needed 8 more catches to unlock a $333,000 bonus. He also needed 55 more receiving yards for another $333,000 bonus, and 1 more receiving touchdown for a $333,000 bonus. So here's what went down. In the middle of the New York Jets game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which were bizarrely down 24-10, you would see this video of Antonio Brown just leaving after taking off his jersey and shirt and throwing it into the stands. Now, apparently what's really funny about this is stadium security initially thought it was a fan and were prepared to tackle AB before they realized it was a player. Now, what was the story behind this? Well, take a look at this. Mike Evans was on the sidelines trying to calm down Antonio Brown. The man literally walks on the field and then leaves, almost as if he is like a streaker. He's hyping up the crowd and then chucks the deuces and then goes. So what is the story behind this? Why did this happen? Well, apparently, according to Bucs sideline guy, Antonio Brown was benched by Coach Bruce Arians before taking off his shoulder pads and jersey and throwing them down on the bench. He's gone to the locker room on his own. So it seems like this entire storyline is just, and with all due respect to Bruce Arians, I think it's a mismanagement of Antonio Brown's personality. He went to AB, told Antonio Brown that he is benched. Antonio Brown flipped out and as a result had this outburst, took off his jersey, and just left. So the result of this entire situation, well, Bruce Arians was asked in regards to Antonio Brown's future with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I don't mean to give myself a little victory lap, but I'm gonna list the comments from my video where I stated a couple of weeks ago that Antonio Brown's career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could be in jeopardy, but this is what Bruce Arians had to say in regards to the situation.
Yeah, we've been in some crazy situations before, but this was a very special one to come back and win that game. Just talking about how the defense just jumped up there and stopped them at the end, and then we got Tom, and that's all you need. He is no longer a Buck. All right, that's the end of the story. Let's talk about the guys that went out there and won the game.
So just like that, Antonio Brown's career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is officially over, and one would have to ponder whether or not his career in the NFL is officially over, because if Tom Brady, your number one advocate, can't save you and keep you on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after your outburst, considering everything that's going on, considering that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do need Antonio Brown. With Chris Godwin out, Mike Evans just came back. The fact that they're willing to cut him loose before the playoffs start speaks volumes in regards to how much they are not willing to deal with Antonio Brown's personality. Now, eventually Tom Brady came out and gave his opinion on the situation, and it just seems like Tom was very empathetic in regards to Antonio Brown's situation, and I think this kind of should allow us to shift our mentality towards AB based off of what Tom Brady says.
He's come up big. He had to today because he didn't have Antonio Brown the second half, most of it. How disappointed are you? Bruce Arians said he's no longer a Buck.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously a difficult situation, and I think we all want him to just I think everybody should find hopefully do what they can to help him in ways that he really needs it, and we all love him, we care about him deeply. We want to see him be at his best, and unfortunately won't be with our team, but we have a lot of friendships that will last. And again, I think the most important thing about football are the relationships with your friends and your teammates, and they go beyond the field. And I think everyone should be very compassionate and empathetic toward some very difficult things that are happening.
Clearly, man, I think Antonio Brown is, and I don't mean this in an insulting way, I know he behaves erratically, but I think he is a prime candidate for CTE, and I really just hope he gets the help he needs. I understand the situation is bizarre, but it's really unfortunate when you watch one of the greatest wide receivers of our generation slowly just begin to crumble right before our eyes, especially when he still has this much ability left in the tank. I hope he gets the help he needs, and I hope he gets better, and we'll see what ends up happening to the rest of Antonio Brown's career. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about the situation. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.